Day 9 of Hamstring Havoc. We're going to take that hip flexion and we're going to just examine it in a bunch of different contexts. So, and we'll probably sit with a wide-legged seated forward fold, but let's just talk about for a second here the sneaky ways that this matters, okay? Let's go back to day 1. This is pyramid pose, like I talked about, all right? Both legs are straight and you're stretching the back of your legs here. So if I'm way up here, I can work that spinal position, that pelvic position to target certain pieces of my hamstring. But if I want to get the entire hamstring, then I'm going to need to employ more belly to thigh, right? Switch legs. It's that hip flexion. So this is a great stretch, pyramid pose. But if you're gonna do it, then, and you're not just working the top of the hamstring, you want the whole hamstring, then even if it means bending that front leg, you want to get belly to thigh connection. Another one, standing split, right? Standing one-legged stretch, easy peasy in the sense that it's just really continuing to accentuate how far forward you can take your body over your leg. This is a great way to get more stretch in your hamstrings. All right, the higher up that back leg goes, the more length is happening from the back leg to the heel of the front leg, and getting your body over the leg really matters. Here in your lunge, we talked about this already. You're in your lunge here, you're activating the hamstring because your weight is in your heel. If you're shifting backward out of the lunge into a half split, right here to here, you're not going to get as much out of it compared to if you're going and staying low and keeping that belly to thigh connection. Okay? And ultimately, even if you are going wide, it's the same thing. You're dropping your body down in between your legs as far as you can. It doesn't matter how wide apart your legs are. It even doesn't matter if your legs are somewhat bent. You want to bring your belly, and in this case, your inner thighs, connected with each other, and then support yourself as needed. You're stretching your whole body. So straddle or pancake or seated for wide-legged forward fold, your legs can go wide and you can bring your body forward with your legs a couple of different ways. You can go straight forward and then prop yourself up as much as you need, which by the way, of course, can be a wall or a bed or a chair. If you're really tight in the low back, you might find it better to support the back of your body. And help it to be forward folded by getting up against a wall and then pushing yourself a little forward with the prop. And then you just let yourself go more forward. Lead with your head. Let your head get heavy and then let the rest of your body slowly follow if you're very tight. A lot of times stretching the hamstrings looks like stretching the entirety of your back, especially if your legs are straight. So that's going forward. You can also go to the side here though, and there is a lot of carryover. So now you can lean your side torso to your leg. Drop your ear down, let your spine be in one shape. It's flexioned, but it's flexioned to the side. It's a lateral flexion. This hand can be anywhere. I like to have it here at the hip because it helps me remind myself to keep this butt cheek down. But you can also send that arm long and it can help you stretch in the side body a little bit more. And once you've done both sides, you might find that it's easier to come back forward because what's happening is you're stretching it here, which wraps around into your back, which wraps into the top of your butt and leads into the hamstrings. Glutes matter when it comes to stretching your hamstrings. We've talked about it before, but this is just a refresher that the entirety of your pelvis and all the muscles around your pelvis, including your glutes, really come into play when stretching your hamstrings. Sometimes the two legs long is a little bit much, but this is a really nice option. You take the one leg in and you just focus on the other leg long. In this case, you have kind of many ways, of course, to approach. You can brace against the inside of the long leg and then stack open. Follow your gaze with your hand and then hand to hand, and then follow your gaze as you open and then go hand to hand. And you're getting that rotation in your torso that can help to loosen up the top of that pelvis and then into the back. You can take your hand to your hip and do the same lateral lean that you did when both legs were long. Or you can rotate your entire torso toward your long leg and fold forward over it, supporting yourself wherever you need to in order to feel comfortable enough to stay. In this case, you're targeting the hamstring and the muscles in the opposite side low back, which go into the hamstring of the bent leg and also then help them when you switch sides for that leg to get long. It also helps open up the outer hips, which of course are super important to make sure that the hamstrings are going to open up. Okay, other leg, same thing. Knee is opening. If you need to prop it up into something to give it that support, that's going to help the rotational stretching in the hamstring. Going over the long leg helps with the lengthwise stretching of the hamstring, and your spine can be anywhere that you need it to be. And you can apply any of the other sort of tips and tricks. You can scoot your butt back and plug that thigh bone up and in. You can tilt your pelvis into more anterior tilt to target the top of the hamstring. You can drop your chin and point your toes so that your nerve channel is more relaxed as you go forward. There's so many different options here, and hopefully now that we're on day 9 and we're almost done, you have built some literacy around the different mechanisms that drive the release of your hamstrings. And these are, of course, principles that apply to any muscle group. So once you have your hamstrings hacked, you can apply them to whatever other muscle groups you want to as well. This was day 9 of Hamstring Havoc. We started down here. Now we're up here in terms of concepts. So day 10, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go out on a chill